That's why.
Got it. Okay, one more thing. Which are the commands you use? Written commands, watch ls. What is actually that is? I didn't
You
understand
need
about that.
you need to Google it, guys. It's a very basic Linux commands. Do some Googling, okay?
Okay.
Yeah.
Actually, I have a couple of questions. Like here, there will not be any physical server concept, right? We don't need to bother about the physical servers, right? Like
No,
while
you
we
are in cloud.
creating the
No
okay,
physical.
got it. And one more question is that while creating the virtual machine, you have not provided any name for that.
I did VM2, VM1. I did
Okay, you
VM1.
selected right, but you selected that name, but you not
You,
given any physically, right?
no, you didn't see it properly. I did give. See the name also showing here as well. VM1-IP. I gave. You missed it.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, still it's getting created, guys. Any questions meanwhile?
So you
Three,
have created that VNet.
Sorry.
You have created VNet now.
Yes.
That routing and all will not come on the picture.
No, it won't. You'll understand more once we go into deep into that one. By default, I don't need to create any sort of a router, routing tables. Nothing is required. It will by default it will work. But if I need to do the routing and everything, we're going to talk about firewalls, user defined routes. Then you'll understand. Yes, Azure is little slow. I know. Yeah, you'll understand more. We understand more once we go deep into that one. Right now, you don't need to do any sort
Okay.
of routing.
Okay.
Okay.
I have one more
Yeah.
question.
Mm-hmm.
This one network security group we can create in this one subnet and network virtual network, right? Can we create in some other resources
Okay.
in
So
like a
network
load
security
balancing,
group.
firewall?
See, first of all, network security group has nothing to do with VNet or subnet. Network security group
Okay,
is a separate entity. It's like a firewall,
okay,
and you can
okay,
assign that one to subnet or virtual machine or some load balancers like that. You can't assign to the virtual network actually. Virtual network is the big boss. You can't assign anything to that one. So, if I assign to that one, all the subnets under that one will get impacted, right? Of course, it's not there. So you can assign to subnets as well as to the virtual machines basically.
virtual machine.
So,
Okay,
so it should be from the same region, right?
It should be yes, yeah.
Okay.
In real time, you're not going to use from other regions, guys, unless you are like working for some something like a Hathaway Enterprise or something, Berkshire Hathaway or Microsoft or something. You're really not going to use multiple regions. Basically, you're going to stick to one region only, most probably. Yeah. Anyway, so I'm going to I'm going to give the public IP and click on OK. Now it will connect like this, and I'm going to give the password. And if you have a further experience about AWS, you will see that AWS is little fast. But again, if you do some from the portal, right? Yes, it will take some time. So everything is done. So we started as 236 and now it is 253. So somewhere like it's 14, 15, 16. We took 17 minutes totally to deploy all this infrastructure. Okay. So manually going to the portal or doing things, everything. This is what for one machine to complete complete structure, right? We got this one. So right now, if you see, I'm able to log into the machine, and if I see, I think see one important thing is basically so. You're not going to do this from the portal, guys. So we're going to use the scripts, and that script should be used by you again and again and again, so that what you need to do is you need to get familiar with that one. So hereafter, this is the only time I'm going to deploy, but sometimes for this setup, like creating of VNets and everything, hereafter for every lab, right, I have uh, s- I have a script which is going to create straight. Okay, so we have the machine created. Right now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to here, I'm going to say code dot. So what you can do is, see, if I type ll, these are all the files I have. If I say code dot in here, it will open Visual Studio Code here, and it will give you all my files in the left actually. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you some script actually. Let me go to Azure. Okay, this one. Okay, so let me open Notepad++. Okay, let's see. First is echo creating a resource group. It will create a resource group. Once the resource group's created, it will create a VNet with a subnet, and it is creating two VNets, guys. Okay, so that I can prove it to you, like I can have coming from resources from different regions actually, East US and West US. After that, it is going to create some two subnets actually in East VNet, where 1 and 2, 2.0, 3.0, as well as West VNet. After that, it is going to create a network security group, and it's going to create a network security group rules basically. And it's going to create availability set. Don't worry, we are still have the time to discuss about this one. And it's going to create a virtual machine as well. So if you see, I have some additional steps as well. So creating this availability set, as well as creating additional extra steps. But let's see how much time it will take. So I'm going to copy everything. This custom data cloud, it has like you can put some softwares. If you want to install it, will install softwares as well. Okay, I'm going to copy everything and go back to the shell. I'm going to close this, basically close editor. Right now, if you see the time, right now, you see the time is basically 2:56, right? I'm going to basically in 2:57 I'm going to paste it. So I'm going to paste it. Let's see what will happen. So resource group is created, and it's creating the VNet. It is creating the second VNet. The only place it will take time is availability set as well as the resource group, but my expectation is it should be completed in 5 minutes basically. So let's see.
Say in the script, you already provided the resource group name and VM name.
Obviously, right?
Okay.
This is for Cloud CLI, right? For PowerShell scripting, you have kept another one, or
No, I'm not going to say all this thing in PowerShell.
okay, okay,
I'm going to use Azure CLI only.
okay.
Say, can we have multiple VMs in one resource group?
If I have multiple storage accounts in one resource group, which I showed you earlier, I don't see a reason why I should not have multiple VMs basically.
Okay, it means so at that time we no need to create again VNet and NSG, right?
No, you don't need to create. It is stuck. You should not stuck. So let's see it is created or not. Resource group. So I'll go here. Refresh it. So you see Azure B9 is created. If I go inside, so it is saying it's VNet is created. So we reached VNet 1, VNet 2 is also created. But if you see, it's taking time, guys. It is taking time. Any questions meanwhile?
Here we nowhere mention anything related to the storage. So how, from where it is going to fetch? Will it create one
What
or
storage, by the way?
for this VMs? Like I'm just comparing when we are doing this with the VMware, something like that.
No,
We used to.
it will take a default. When I select the
Okay.
image here, right, it will take a default of 30 GB. If you want extra drives, you need to add it.
Okay. So you showed before just as an example storage accounts. So when that will come into the picture, what requirements we will be creating the storage accounts and
You'll
how
understand. You will understand when we talk about storage accounts. It's not
okay.
required right now.
Oh, okay.
Asa, can we create the script file by our own?
Yeah, why not? You can do that. I encourage that
Oh,
one to do that one.
okay, okay. But the some steps is required, right? What and all to do and all those
You
things.
have the video for that one.
Okay, okay. Thank
If I'm
I
not
should not.
wrong.
Yeah.
So in most of the organizations, the resource groups will be already created, and we our work, mainly our administrative work to do is creating a new virtual machines or assigning resources like that, right?
No, the subscriptions will be already created. Your responsibility is you will create a resource groups. Only subscriptions will be there, and if you are fortunate enough, you might need to create subscriptions as well. So resource groups will be you will be creating so oftenly.
Oh, okay.
Okay, this doesn't look guys. I don't know why it is taking so much of time. So, okay, if I go to the VNet one, let's see subnets are created or not. See, subnet only one subnet is created, and it's not coming back. Why? So I'm going to stop the script. Hold on. Let me. It's already created, so let me run from here actually, rather than running from the whole script. I'm going to run from this from here to here. Okay. Just creating network security group. Check it out, guys. So, and it's the NSG creates. So it's create the rule first, and now it is creating the NSG. So network NSG rule create, yes. And after that, it's going to create the availability sets, and finally, it is going to deploy the virtual machine. So done. Now it's creating the virtual machine. Sorry, it's creating the virtual availability set. You will understand the availability set when we discuss about that. Hold on.
In this script, you also mentioned the subscription ID in the beginning.
No need because it will by default go into my subscription by production subscription. You can change it later as well if you want to. So when I log into that one, it will by default go into the default subscription.
Okay. So all this resource group and a part of this other resource of that resource group can be changed to other subscription later. You mean?
Yes, yeah. See, you know that where you want to deploy, right, which subscription. So what you can do is, if you don't select anything by default, it will go to the default subscription which you have first created. Otherwise, you are always available to select your subscription and do the stuff.
Okay.
Okay,
Sir, I have
finally,
one question.
yes.
See, I'm using this one operating system. Can I integrate this one Azure PowerShell and combine to my command prompt in PowerShell?
I didn't understand. Come again, please.
See, I'm using operating system Windows 10. Can I
Okay.
integrate this one Azure portal to my PowerShell and this one
See,
command prompt?
Azure Portal is basically browser based, so you can open in Windows 10. You
Okay,
can download and install Azure CLI. It is available online. You can download and install. After that, you can
okay,
also for PowerShell you'll understand later because you need to download the modules actually. If you download the modules, it will work.
okay. If I can I integrate integration is possible, right?
What do you mean by integration? I already said it is for it. You can download the CLI and do that one. If you say integration, what exactly you're talking about? Which integration you're talking
Means
about?
I can operate through my PowerShell directly. This one Azure
Uh,
portal.
That's that's what I'm telling you. Not Portal. Portal is
Uh,
for browser based, right?
okay. Yeah,
See,
yeah,
what
yeah,
you're trying to ask is you want to manage through PowerShell the Azure,
yeah.
right? You want to manage the
Yes,
Azure with
yes.
PowerShell. Yes, you can do that. You need to download and install the modules actually.
Modules. Okay, okay.
Yeah. So it is running, guys. The machine is getting created. So what will happen like this, whenever you want to create, right, you need to create your custom scripts, right? These are all created by me for that, so that I can teach easily and create and delete the virtual machines or the infrastructure easily, basically. So Azure CLI, once you get habituated to this one, it will be very easy for you. Okay. So be prepared for that when you practice as much as possible. Okay, good. So once it is created, right? So it should be created in any minute because this is a Linux machine, so it won't take that much. So if I go to the virtual machines, so let's go to the virtual, it should be created actually. You should get a test VM. Once it is created, it will be like it won't take much time, guys. So what will happen is I'm going to share the script with you, so you can modify according to you and you can do that one. Now, next is what we need to talk about is about the virtual networks actually. In the virtual networks, you have something called as peerings and endpoints. I'm not going to do it today, guys. I'm going to answer your questions. I'm going to end this class because these are just a primary first two classes. I'm just ending in 2 hours actually. But when you go to the next slide, it will be like next right. It will be like 2.5 hours full-fledged. So because we know that we have still people are there just joining, we really don't know. So we're going to end by 9 o'clock. I'm going to answer your doubts, and then I'm going to send a new meeting ID by Friday, and we're going to continue for next 8 weeks. Yeah. Any questions, guys?
See, the
uh,
curriculum we are going to start from next week onwards, right? The
no,
exact
it's
curriculum.
already started. So why do you think this is not in the curriculum? Resource groups as well as create machines and virtual machines. It is already started. It is only that it's not completely full. We are actually completing in 2 hours, not 2.5 hours. This is not demo sessions, by the way. This is live
Okay.
sessions. Okay. I don't teach demo sessions because telling demo sessions 1 hour with different topics no use for everyone. Just
Mhm.
I started the class, and yesterday we spoke about the basics. This is where you go. In this class, we established how the network should be, how the subnets, everything. So this is part of the curriculum. Yes.
Shri, just a small question. I mean, it is nothing related to creating VMs. It is like,
Mm-hmm.
so now I have a free tier for 1 month. Now
Mm-hmm.
I want the other 10 people also to use the same free tier, so that the entire, is that possible? I mean, can I give a different tenant ID to these 10 people and make it done,
No.
or create a AD? In AD, I need to create 10 entries, and is that possible? Is that way is
Yes, you
there?
can
Or
share. The problem here is Microsoft is more smarter than that and than us actually. Okay.
okay,
So what will happen is you can't have at any given point of time, you can't create more than 4 CPUs, and you can actually, they need to do in a different region actually. If you are using East US, you need to do the West US actually, so that then only it will work.
okay. I'm
So
using
you can
free tier, and
technically,
it
yes,
will be, yeah, it will be get over in 1 month. So I
yes,
was
yes.
just thinking, what is the effective way?
Nothing, it will be over. You need to, after 1 month, you need to pay.
Okay.
Okay, it is done, guys. So it might not be same, but it will happen in 10 minutes. So it will be completed. So if you see, all machines are up and running. Done. So this is how you need to do that one. And while deleting, once you complete the lab, right, what you can do, either you can go to the resource group directly here and delete the resource group. This is the best way. So that if you just don't try, you can do it with command line also. But what I do is I just click on delete this one, and also I'll go and delete this one. So in that case, I need not to worry about anything. Say this resource group, and what I can do is I can basically go to where is this resource? This is resource group, and let me go to resource groups. Delete resource group and give it, that's it. So what will happen after the lab, it will be completed and delete everything actually. Otherwise you need to delete individually. There's a little headache. See, normally in AWS, if you create delete the machine, it will delete everything like a drive as well as IP, everything is deleted. Azure, it is not like that, everything is independent. So if you delete the virtual machine, it won't delete your disk as well as interface IP. You need to delete separately. So instead of going that headache, I just delete the whole resource group. It will delete, wipe out completely actually.